This is a place that I have been spending a lot of time in. I'm actually a digital nomad, as maybe you know. If this is the first time you're on the channel, then welcome. I am down here in Cape Town, South Africa, and I live right up the street from this location right now. And it's beautiful. It's basically the perfect blend of residential and it's got sort of the downtown core. If I walk down the street here, I'm hitting Kloof Street, and if I walk further up the mountain, it's very quiet, and it's like you're in the wilderness. So this cafe is really special to me because it's sort of at that point where I'm always passing it to get anywhere else I want to go in the city. And it's got an amazing patio. I'm sort of hanging out in the back patio right now. It's all local fair food. They've got some of the most fantastic coffee in the Cape, I think. I've tested a lot of different ones. Their coffee here is exceptional. This is not a promotion for the Blue Cafe, but I'm sharing, some of the things that are important to me. So what's important to me is because I'm working a lot and I'm not working out of an office, I am thinking a lot about what is the experience I can get while I'm working and playing at the same time, right? So I got my computer in front of me, I've got some great coffee, and away I go. The theme for today is organization, how to keep yourself productive and how to keep yourself effective, okay? Productivity and effectiveness are not necessarily always the same thing, but hopefully they are for you. But I think I've developed a system that's made it pretty predictable that that's what I'm going to get every day if I actually follow the system. So there's two sides to this. There's strategy and there's actually execution on it. So I'm going to give you my strategy, and I'm going to challenge you to actually execute on it on yourself, and then let me know how it's going for you. I'm going to share some templates with you as well, so that you actually have a guide and you can follow along. But what I'll do today initially is I'm just going to hopefully get you excited about some of the things that you could actually organize to make your day more effective. So I actually have a spreadsheet that I've put together. It's taken me months, if not years, to kind of develop it. I've refined it. There's a lot of different things in this tab, but I call it my command ops. So what it is basically the way that I organize my priorities. And within there is different tabs, and each tab actually has a different emphasis as it relates to my life and my work. So as a digital nomad, they're kind of blending together a lot, and so it's easy for me to kind of keep it all in one place. For you, maybe you want to separate it, that's fine too, but for me it's all about having less is more. So if I have one tab that has everything in it, God forbid I lose the tab because I don't know what lose the sheet because I don't know what I'll do. But it is saved in the cloud, I back it up and all that stuff, so I'm sure it's going to be fine. Let me tell you about some of the things that are in here. So I basically put in here a section for my daily. So let's talk about that first, really high level. And again, I'm going to give you the template so you can use my examples and tailor to your own needs. I have a morning ritual that I've developed. So the morning ritual basically is the idea of how I start my day is how the day is going to go. So in there is some really important things for me, things like hydration, things like gratitude. I have my exercise routine that gets in there, making sure that I'm doing some meditation. All of that stuff is like start of the day, okay? Then go get some sun, get some nature, all that fun stuff. I'm in a beautiful place right now for nature in Cape Town, but even when I'm back in Canada and I'm in the middle of the winter, I'm still going to get out and get some energy, get some exercise, get some fresh air. So the next thing is on the daily is my daily ritual. So this is more around work. When I have my days off, I do not adhere to anything. I just sort of like let it flow. But when I'm working, it's really important that I keep my priorities straight. So I have certain things I need to delegate, certain things I need to get off my agenda for the day, and certain things I need to make sure that I prioritize and I'm doing, right? So it's sort of like the 4 Ds, if you will. So it's delegate, do, defer, or delete, right? So I'm kind of going through that process. And then the final thing I have on my daily is my dusk ritual. So that basically covers the whole day. What am I going to do before I go to bed? How am I going to sort of wind down? What am I thinking about? How am I putting myself in the right headspace so that I can actually, go to sleep and get a good night's sleep and feel like I can leave all my ideas and all my maybe concerns at the off the bed, so that I can actually sleep. Tab 2. The second tab is all about projects. Okay, so this is actually where we start to get really heavy into the work. So now I'm all ready to get something done. What am I working on? Well, I actually have a list of things that are important projects for me. I have the different companies that I'm part of, and I have some different companies that I'm also trying to build, right? And so I'm really trying to take things to extreme for me. Trying to push myself way beyond my comfort zone in terms of like the kind of the work I'm personally doing right now, and so it actually is going in a few different directions. So for me, I actually have all my top priority projects within very well organized, so that I can kind of go in and say, okay, you know what, top of mind, I got to do these 3-4 things every day. These are the things I'm going to work on. So that's the next thing that's in here, and again, I'll give you a template for that. So tab 3 and 4. We'll put them together. I'm going to give credit to Sam Ovens of consulting.com. I watched a seminar at some point, and he gave away pieces of his organizational strategy, and this is something that I actually adopted and pulled it into my suite of tabs in my spreadsheet. One is basically the monthly calendar, so it actually breaks down my month. I have a calendar in Google that I use for my day-to-day schedule, but this is one that's more like strategic planning. So it's sort of mapping out my month ahead, and it normally has a goal at the end of the month, like what am I going to accomplish this month? What's the big goal for the whole month? And I get to see that, and I can also put in my one thing or my 1 or 2 or 3 things each day that I need to get done. Everything else becomes sort of secondary to that. If I get those things done, I win. I have the year as well in here, which is also, again, the second tab I mentioned. There's 2. So the year is the other piece that I want to look at. So I want to see the whole year. I want to see the milestones for each month, and I want to have the month that I'm looking at. So those are the next 2 tabs. Again, I will give you a reference to that. And then we get into some interesting things for me. So I get into traction. So for me, it's all about momentum. So I want to see like what things are actually getting checked off, whether it's revenue or it's different milestones. I want to sort of have a running tally of, in each project I'm working on, what traction am I getting? Like where am I getting results? And I want to document that, because it's actually really motivational for me, and also I can share that with team members, so we can have these micro celebrations. So that's really important to me. So that's another tab that's really essential for me to look at every day. Next tab, this one I love. This is the HR tag. Okay, so it's like a CRM for me. It's my personal CRM, if you will, customer relationship management tab. What I do is I put all of my most important relationships in there. So it's not even just business, but anything, like if I want to have somebody top of mind and I want to be thinking about like how I can help them, how maybe we can work together, collaborate on things, any of that type of stuff, that's going in that tab. So it's basically like, it's got all my team members in there as well. It's got lots of fun stuff in there. All right, so I'm going to talk about my favorite tab right now. This is the tab the one tab that ruled them all, if you will. So it's basically the Kingdom tab. So it's where I'm putting, as a dreamer, an unapologetic dreamer, I basically have things in here that are kind of impossible at this point for me to even think about doing. Just an example is Space Fleet. Like, I'm not Elon Musk, but basically I have things in here that are pretty crazy. But it's a 10-year plan. We're gonna see how close we get to it. What's cool is you get to sort of, if this is sort of chronicled at some level, if I do achieve some of this stuff, it's kind of neat, because it's like I'm telling you way before it ever happened. But I have stuff in here that are basically are my sort of like end game moves, as an entrepreneur. So I'm trying to get some things done that are gonna be helping to create the kind of future that I would love to live in, the kind of future I want to be part of. All right, let me talk to you about the last couple of tabs that are really important to my day-to-day. So we've got basically one of the other ones that's really important to me is the tools that I'm using. Because why that is because if I can get tools that are going to make me more efficient or more effective, then it has a dramatic impact on everything else, right? So I'm always trying to leverage technology, obviously, to be more efficient. So I am looking at things that I can actually either replace the stuff that I have on my current tab sheet. I'm always experimenting with new things, or I'm taking this and I'm figuring out how I can actually share this with other team members, how I can put training together for it. In fact, that's a big part of some of the work that I'd like to do with this channel, is share, some of the tools I'm using and how we're using them, how I'm using them potentially, so that you can actually execute on those same things. I'm very agnostic about this stuff, so if a tool basically can get replaced by something else that's out there, I love to know about it. So if you're using something that I'm recommending something different, please let me know, and we'll do the test, we'll do the comparison. We can actually do a whole breakdown of what the differences are, what the pros and cons. What I've found honestly is that a lot of times it's about just using something. It's not necessarily, even if your tool is slightly better, if I'm using mine more consistently, I win, right? So that's sort of the way to think about this stuff as well, is just getting stuff that really works for you. And one of my mantras is keeping it simple, right? So if you have too many tabs, too many tools, it's not as effective as having less. So less is more. I try to have just enough things that I'm focusing on, and no more than that. So that's just a little bit of advice there. Again, those are some examples that I'd love to share with you. Hopefully that's helpful. I have that one command sheet. It has all the tabs I need in it. You can add or take things out, but it just keeps you super organized, and you can now link that out to whatever else. So I link it to other folders, other files, and that's the one thing every day I need to look at. So I live off of that tab, or sorry, off of that sheet. So hopefully that's helpful. If you would like more content like this, let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching.